Morning, boys and girls. It's time for another day of preschool. Let's start out like we always do with our months of the year song. Can you stand up and join me in the actions? Here's how it goes. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Then we all turn around. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Then we all sit down. Good job, boys and girls. Let's go on over to our calendar and see what we have going on. We are into a new week in the month of April. Yep, A says A for April. Looks like yesterday, some of you might have celebrated church, a Palm Sunday celebration. That was on Sunday, and that had a 5 on it. What comes after 5? You guessed it. It's the number 6. Curve around and tuck it in to make the number 6. Let's put that up. And see if you can count with me. It's not too high, is it? I bet you can. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good job, boys and girls. Let's go ahead and also do our Days of the Week song. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We just put our 6 right here. Let's see what day of the week we're on. It's an orange one with an M. Monday is today. Let's go over to our other days of the week and see if we can find the matching one. Oh, sure enough, here's an M for Monday. Let's move that over here. Today is Monday, April 6th. All right, let's check out our weather. Let's see here. Out my window today. Oh, no sunshine at all. I wonder if it will rain later. I don't know, but it is definitely cloudy with no sun at all. I'm going to pick this tag that has a cloudy. And it shows lots of clouds. Today is indeed cloudy. And it would make sense if it was maybe rainy today because we are in spring when everything is starting to grow. Did you notice all the trees around here that have their bright white blossoms? And I saw some trees that are getting ready to get pink blossoms on it too. That means it's springtime, it's warming up, and eventually it'll be very hot. That will be summertime. All right, time to get back on your feet. Find that right hand. We're going to do our Pledge of Allegiance. Let's look at our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We've talked about a lot of those words, but indivisible, that means you can't divide us. And we pray that that's always true of our country, that we can stand together and enjoy our country, indivisible. It's time to move on to our Bible story. This reminds us of some of the things we learned about last week, about Jesus and that crown of thorns that got pushed onto his head, those wounds, and of course the cross where he actually was nailed to it and died, the whip where they cut open his back when they were whipping him, the spear where they cut his side to see if he really was dead, and he was. This reminds us that he is the king, his scepter, but not king on earth, king in our hearts. And the rooster, we didn't talk about that part, but there was a part that said that Peter would disown Jesus. He would say, I don't know who you are, before the rooster crowed during the night. And that happened too. Today, though, this is the part of the story we're going to talk about. Remember at the end of our story last time, Jesus really was dead. And his friends came and they took his body down off the cross and put him in a tomb. Now their tombs were different than ours. Our graves, you see a cemetery or sometimes maybe people have their ashes in something called an urn. But in those days, they would cut open and hollow out a giant rock, kind of make it like a cave. And if you were rich, you could be buried in something like that. And one of Jesus' friends did indeed do that. They had a huge cave in a fresh, new, it was brand new, no one had ever been buried in there. And they said, I want to put my Jesus in there. So they did. And after they had laid in there, they had a huge rock that they pushed into place so that no animals could get in there and nobody could get in there. And Jesus' body would be safely buried. Now the leaders said, you know what? We remember that Jesus' disciples said that he's going to be alive again after 3 days, but what if they're just making that up? What if they're actually going to go and steal the body and then say, look, it's empty? We don't want them to make up a story like that. So, hey, could we have some soldiers? And those soldiers could come and stand there and make sure that no one comes and steals Jesus' body out of the grave? And they got permission. And so some soldiers were sent to guard the tomb. And they even put a special seal on the tomb so that they would know if someone had gotten in and tried to reseal it. They would know. But it happened anyway. Jesus was buried on Friday night. He was in the tomb all on Saturday. And early Sunday morning, he rose. He didn't have to have anyone open it for him because he was Jesus. He just left. And he had some friends of his, some women who wanted to come. They said, Friday night we didn't get to finish wrapping Jesus up the way we wanted to. We'd like to go and show our love for him. So they took some spices and some things that they would have used in their normal burial, and they started heading out that way to the tomb. And on the way they thought, oh dear, there's that big old heavy rock in the way. How are we ever going to get into the tomb? But they kept going anyway. And as they got close, they saw something strange. The rock wasn't in front of the opening. It was rolled off to the side. Early that morning, the tomb had broken open. The ground shook. An angel had come and rolled it aside, and it was already empty. Jesus was already gone. And the soldier saw what had happened. When he woke back up, he said, I better get out of here. And the soldier took off running. And that is what our picture is. There is a picture of what the soldier might have looked like. But he wasn't there anymore. He had left. And sure enough, the tomb was open. You can see the rock was pushed away. And these bright, shining ones, those are what angels might look like. And the women, they were saying, well, what happened? And one of them took off running to tell the other disciples, Jesus isn't in the tomb anymore. He's not there. And the angel said, don't be afraid. Jesus is alive again. And sure enough, there were his empty grave clothes. His head ones all folded up. Jesus had rose from the dead. Oh, this is a happy message for us. And then the other disciples heard about it, and they too came running to the tomb to say, Jesus truly is alive. Oh, what great news for us. This means that Jesus really is stronger than death. And when we die, we don't have to worry about going to hell or paying for our own sins. Jesus already did it and showed he was stronger than death. So when we die, we won't wake back up here on this sinful earth anymore. We're going to wake up and be in heaven instantly, seeing all those that have known Jesus too, and getting to meet Jesus ourselves. And that is our Bible verse for today too. Reminds us of that. Here it is. Remember, we're going to keep our eye on the words. It goes like this. This is Jesus talking to us. He says, I am the resurrection and the life. That's from John 11:25. resurrection. That's a long word, and that means come back from the dead. And Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. He doesn't say I'm like a resurrection, I'm like having life. He says, I am the resurrection. I am the life. Because he did that for us, and we can hold on to that promise. Let's say it together one more time. Can you get your fingers out and help me point to the words? I am the resurrection and the life. John 11:25. Oh, thank you, Jesus, for that wonderful word and that wonderful promise. All right, boys and girls, this is the part if you want to take a break and go and get a drink or use the bathroom. That's what we would be doing here at preschool. And then when you come back, here's what we're going to do today. We are going to sing through our alphabet and learn a new letter. I bet you might have guessed what our next letter is, but let's start at the beginning anyway. Ready? Way back here with the letter A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? We are indeed at the letter J. And I have a little song. It goes like this. The J says J. The J says J. Every letter makes a sound. The J says J. It's kind of neat. J is one of the letters that when you make it, you get to put a long tail on it going down below. Only a few other letters do that. The G gets to do that, and the P and the Q, but not many letters. And the Y, not many letters get to go down low and stick their tails down below the ground or into the water, however you want to pretend. It's a little tricky. J and G. J and G. G says G. J says J. Well, unless G gets together with some of his other friends, then sometimes he thinks he gets to say J too, but J always says J. He sticks to his letter. I have my alphabet soup can. Let's see what things start with J today. I see a cup. It's got something in it. It's orange. It's juice. Juice starts with J. What else? Oh, this is something that's very sweet, and you might spread it on your toast or your bread. This looks like some blackberry jam. That would be delicious to have. You might need this in the winter, or if it's a lighter one, you might wear it in the spring. A jacket. Oh, hey, this was kind of like this, except for instead of this one being filled with jam, it's empty. What did we put the jam in? We put it in a jar. Oh, here's the last one I have for you today. What is that one? You might say airplane, but airplane doesn't start with j. What if it goes really fast? Zoom. We might call it a jet. Ah, yes, I have a jet for you. That's all I have for my letter J's today. But I wanted to show you something you could do that starts with a J. It's a little hard to do. You'll have to really work on it. It's a fun little thing called a jumping jack. And this is just fun to get energy out, or if you feel like being silly, but it looks like this. You do this. Whoa, big kids might do this as part of their exercise. Trying to learn a jumping jack. I hear two J's there, jumping and jack. Oh, it's hard. So let me show you the arms first. Your arms go up, down, up, down. Can you try that? Arms go up, down, and your legs are doing this. Out, in, out, in. Are you trying it? Out, in. But now, when you try to do them at the same time, oh, it can be tricky. Are you ready? We're gonna do up and out, Ready? So my arms go up, my legs go out like this. Up and out, and straight. Up and out, and straight. Let's try a couple right in a row. Ready? Up and out, straight. Up and out, straight. Was that silly? Is that hard to do? Just keep practicing it. I bet you can figure it out. Good job giving it a shot. All right, I want to show you one thing today on here. We don't have a new number to draw, but putting numbers together, when I put a 1 and a 0 together, do you know what that's called? That's called a 10. So 1, 0 makes 10. You might be able to do more dot to dots and go even higher if you do the number 10. Or if you have a pack of materials from me, there's a number 10 little book that you can work on in there. I'd like to show you a few other things that you can work on at your home today. One of them is a book you could read. If you don't have this book on your shelf, you can look it up on the internet. There's several people who like to read this book, and maybe one of them can read it to you. It's called A Color of His Own, and it's by Leo Lionni. Some letters you know on here. Color, his, and of course a color of his own. This is a fun book about different colors and about this special creature that God made called a chameleon. Did you know that a chameleon can change colors? An elephant is always gray. A tiger is always striped. But a chameleon can be lots of different things. So maybe you'd like to read this book today and find out how many different colors he can be. All right, I'm going to show you a few other activities that you could work on today. This page has our new letter on it. It says J is for jam. Jam. J is for jam. Oh, and I have a piece of bread here. And this part must be where the jam needs to go. But before I start, always take time to put your name on top so you can practice making those letters. So my name, M-R-S-M-O-N-D-A-Y, Mrs. Monday. Keep working on your name. You're going to get better and better at it. Your fingers will get smarter and smarter the more you try it. Let's see here. I really love cherry jam, so I'm going to use a little bit of cherry paint. Oh, wait. Is that really cherry flavored paint? No, it is not. So I should not eat the paint, but I can pretend. I can use my imagination and say that's cherry paint. And I think I'd like a little bit of grape jam also. And then I can use my paintbrush and paint carefully. I don't want to make a mess on my countertop with my jam, but maybe this part of my bread gets the grape jam, and then maybe this half of it I can put my cherry jam on. You can think up any flavor combination you'd like. That's what's fun about doing art. Whatever you want to do, that's what you can do on your page when you do art projects. And you can remember that J is for jam. Oh, I've got another thing that J is for. I better move these aside. Do you recognize these little things? This is Easter week coming up. So I have some Easter projects. These are jelly beans, and they're good. And sure enough, J is for jelly bean counting. Oh, J is for jelly bean counting. You'll see I have some big jelly beans, or at least the lines that look like jelly beans, and they have numbers on them. I want you to use your special counting. Maybe you even want to sort them and say, I'd like to do, maybe I'll do orange for the number 2. I'm going to do 1, oh, I have another one here. 1, 2. I have 2 orange jelly beans. Or maybe for red, I'm going to do 3. 1, 2, 3 red jelly beans. Oh, did you see how I did that? 3, make sure you blow gently through when you're saying 3. Or maybe I just want to mix one up. Maybe for 5, I can just do whatever colors pop up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jelly beans. You could do this with anything. It doesn't have to be jelly beans. You can use whatever you would like, but you can practice your counting that way. And then maybe when you're all done, if mom or dad or grandma or grandpa says it's okay, maybe you can eat up your little counters if they're food counters. You could do it with pieces of cereal. You could do it with carrot slices, anything at all. But if you have this sheet at home, I also sent you a little bag of jelly beans for you to practice your counting with. And then one last project, and this is a tricky project. It will take you a long time to do because there's a lot of parts of it. I used something special today. Rather than using regular paint, I used this food called sweetened condensed milk. That's not normal paint, is it? But it is neat because it's very thick and very sticky. I mixed food coloring in, and you can see how it just drips off of my paintbrush. You know what I just realized? I have a picture of one of these that I could show you. I'm gonna walk over here and I can show you what one of these eggs looks like when you have it all painted up. It looks like this. Ooh, all swirled together. You can make one of those at your house. If you have sweetened condensed milk, you can make your own paint. Or if your mom and dad picked up a kit from me, I sent you just a little bit of some of these paints for you to try. Now, one of the hard parts of this project is cutting an oval. An egg is shaped like an oval. When we cut, remember, we have both of our thumbs on top, and we want to make sure not to cut too fast, because if we cut fast, then our egg starts to look kind of like maybe a stop sign. So when we're cutting an oval, we want to make sure we are using this hand to turn our paper, and then we can cut, and we can keep our scissor blade and just keep turning and turning our paper. See how I use this hand to keep turning it? And it gives me that nice, smooth oval shape. And then, once I have mine all cut out, I can start using my paint. And I can paint a little like this, and it gets smooth and shiny as you leave it there. Maybe I'll switch colors and I'll use some green, and it's kind of neat if some of it strings out. It makes kind of a neat shape. This is very sticky, so you want to make sure you have some paper or something underneath, or else be ready to clean up a lot when you are done. Maybe I'll even add, I'll get this out of here, clean out my brush a little, I'll add a little pink. Oh yeah, that's gonna make a beautiful egg. You can use as many colors as you want. You could even make more than one, but it definitely looks pretty. If some of it, you can just let it drizzle over and make a beautiful pattern. I hope you enjoy making a beautiful Easter egg. Now this paint will take a long time to dry. If you make this at lunchtime, you probably don't even want to check it until supper time, or maybe even the next morning. But when it's all done, you can hang it up and have a beautiful decoration for Easter. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and maybe the sun will come out and you'll get some outdoor time too. Goodbye.